distinguished and elucidative guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to dedicate this lecture of public interest litigation to the memory of Justice P.N. Bhagwati, who articulated the concept of public interest litigation in India. And because of his bold and public-centric decisions, the people in the world have immense faith in the Indian judiciary. Now, the public interest litigation can be filed any person in India where a legal wrong or a legal injury is caused to a person or to determinate class of person by reason of violation of any constitutional or legal right or any burden imposed in contravention of any constitutional or legal provision or without authority of law, or any such legal wrong or legal injury or illegal burden is threatened and such person unable to approach to the Honorable Supreme Court or to the High Court, then any members of a public can file the public interest litigation for the High Court for seeking an appropriate rate, direction or order under Article 226 of the Constitution of India, or directly before the Supreme Court under Article 32 of the Constitution of India, the violation of any fundamental right enshrined in Part 3rd of the Constitution of India. Public interest litigation is not defined in any statute or in any act. It has been interpreted by judges to consider the interest of public at large, although the main focus of such litigation is only public interest. Pushpa Kapila Hingorani was an Indian lawyer who is regarded as mother of public interest litigation. As earlier, a petition could be filed only by a victim or a family member of the victim, but Kapila Hingorani wanted to represent the under trial prisoners in the Bihar, therefore acting on a novel idea, filed a habeas corpus petition in the Supreme Court of India on behalf of our prisoners. The Supreme Court issued notice to the Bihar government, which led to the release of all the victims in the case, and eventually, although about 40,000 under trials across the country, the landmark case came to be known as the Hosseini Ara Khatun versus State of Bihar, 1979. Hosseini Ara was one of the 6 Bowman prisoners. In Paramanand Katara versus Union of India, a human rights activist named Paramanand Katara filed public interest litigation in the Supreme Court on the basis of a news published in the newspaper concerning the death of a scooterist after an accident with a speeding car. Doctors refused to attend him by saying that this is an accidental case. They directed him to go to another hospital around 20 kilometers away, which could handle accidental and medico-legal cases. Thereupon, the Supreme Court framed certain guidelines in this case and directed that the preservation of human life is of paramount importance. Therefore, every doctor, whether at a government hospital or otherwise, has professional obligation to extend her service to protect the life first. There should be no doubt that the efforts to save the person should be the top priority. In Sunil Batra versus Delhi Administration, 1979, a prisoner's name Sunil Batra has written a letter to the Honorable Chief Justice of the Supreme Court complaining of a brutal assault by a head burden on another prisoner's named Prem Chand, whose anus was allegedly pierced with a burden button, and the institution is Tihar prison, right in the capital of country, and under the nose of Home Ministry. The said letter was posted on the bench of Justice Krishna Iyer to be treated into a habeas corpus proceedings and was judicially navigated with electric creativity. Dr. Y.S. Chitle, appointed as a amicus curiae, and Sri Swali Surabji, the learned Solicitor General of India, erudite persons for affirmative court action. The petitioner does not seek to release of a prisoner because a life sentence keep him on confinement, but the dynamic role of judicial remedies after Batra's case imparts to the habeas corpus writ of versatile vitality and operational utility that make the leading space of the law live. The judges are the guardian of prisoners' right because they have a duty to secure the execution of sentence with the prisoners' personal liberty of the prisoners without violence. In Sheela Varsi versus State of Maharashtra, Sheela Varsi was the journalist of freelance, taken permission to interview the female prisoners of Maharashtra jail. The permission was granted by the Inspector General of Prisons. As the journalist started tape recording the interview with the prisoners, but the permission of interview was withdrawn. Feeling aggrieved from the cancellation of the permissions, she filed public interest litigation in the Supreme Court on the ground that a citizen has a right to know under Article 19, bracket 1, bracket A and Article 21 of the Constitution of India. If the government is administrating the jails in accordance with law, at the same time, the press has a special responsibility to collect the information of public issues to educate the people. The Supreme Court issued the certain guidelines to curtail the custodial violence and broadened the meaning of right to life with human dignity available under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. And another, in Rudal Shah versus State of Bihar 1983, Rudal Shah was arrested in 1953 on the charges of murder of his wife, but he was acquitted by an additional session judge in 1968 and directed his release from jail. Despite that order of the acquittal, Rudal Shah languished in jail for 14 years after his acquittal, until his plight was highlighted in the media in 1982 and led to the filing of the public interest litigation on his behalf. Accordingly, the court ordered to the state to pay 30,000 rupees to the petitioner as an interim measure, in addition to the 5,000 already paid, and the judgment did not prevent for bringing future lawsuit against the state and its officials for appropriate damage and his unlawful detention. In SP Gupta versus Union of India, the main issue arising on this writ petition is the transfer of judges from one high court to another high court and the additional judge of the high court in a state to be appointed as permanent judges. For that, a letter addressed by the Law Minister on March 18, 1981 to the Governor of the Punjab and the Chief Minister of different states except the Northeast states. One Iqbal Chagla, a lawyer of the Bombay High Court, and many others has filed the writ petitions in the different high court, which were transferred to this court under Article 139 of the Constitution of India, raise issue of grand constitutional importance affecting the independence of the judiciary. Mr. Mridul, learned advocate appearing on behalf of the Law Minister, raised preliminary objection against the writ petition of S.P. Gupta that a petitioner in that writ petition, not having suffered any legal injury, had on locus standi. Justice Krishna Iyer pointed out that if a citizen belonging to an organization which has a special interest in the subject matter, if he cannot toll off at gates, we must therefore hold that Iqbal Chagla and others had local standi to maintain their writ petitions. Look, we have taken a broad and liberal view in regard to the locus standi and held that any public spirit advocate acting bona fide and not file private against or the personal profit, political motivated or any other consideration may file a writ petition. Nowadays, public interest litigation involving good issues are being dismissed with exemplary cost to demolish the social activist, and on the other hand, large number of public interest litigation involving important issue are pending and getting infectious. In Anil Yadav vs. State of Bihar, 1981, exposed brutalist of the police newspaper report revealed that about 33 suspected criminals were blinded by the police in Bihar by putting the acid in their eyes. Though interim orders, Supreme Court directed the state government to bring the blind man to Delhi for medical treatment. It also ordered a speedy prosecution of the guilty policeman. The court also read right to free legal aid as a fundamental rights of every accused. Anil Yadav signed that the growth of the social activist and investigative litigation. In MC Mehta versus Union of India, the Bhopal gas case in 1971, the American company Union Carbide Corporation established a pesticide plant in the densely populated region at Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Unfortunately, on December 3, 1984, massive amounts of methyl isocyanide gas quickly engulfed the city. Within hours, a large number of humans and animals died due to inhaling the poisonous gas. According to an estimated, around 3,787 people died immediately. Local hospitals were packed, doctors alike. In the first few days, the death counts reached 10,000, followed by 15,000 and 20,000 in the subsequent decade. In this case, the Supreme Court increased the bar of tortious liability that an enterprise engaging in any harmful or inherently dangerous activity had an absolute and non-delegate duty to ensure that no one was harmed, and if anyone was harmed, they were to be compensated. Aruna Ramchandra Sangwan versus Union of India. Aruna Sangwan was a nurse working at a Kim Abbott Memorial Hospital, Parel, Mumbai. November 27, 1973, she was sodomized by a sweeper. During attacks, she was strangulated with a chain. One Pinky Brani, an Indian writer, journalist, human rights activist, claiming her next friend filed petition in the Supreme Court against that the continued existence of Aruna is in violence of the right to life in dignity. The Supreme Court on March 7, 2011 rejected the plea to discontinue the Aruna's life support but issue a set of broad guidelines legalizing the passive euthanasia in India. She died from pneumonia after being in a coma for a period of 42 years. In Unni Krishnan versus State of AP, the 5 judges Constitution Bench in 1993 held every citizen has a right to free education up to the age of 14 years. It is subject to limits of economic capacity and development of the state, obliged to follow directions contained in Article 45 and 21 to be construed in the light of Article 41, 45 and 46 of the Constitution of India. Citizen for Democracy versus State of Assam, 1995. Mr. Kuldeep Nair, a journalist in his capacity as President of Citizen for Democracy, wrote a letter to the Supreme Court that when he was in Guwahati, he went to see a patient at the government hospital. He found that 7 Tata detainees put in one room, handcuffed to their bed, room in which they were locked, had bar and was locked. Outside, a posse of policemen stood with gun on their shoulder. Justice Kuldeep Singh and Justice N. Venkat Chalaya have considered his letter as public interest litigation and held that in all the cases where a person arrested by police is produced before the magistrate and the person concerned shall not be handcuffed unless special orders in the respect are obtained from the magistrate. All rank of police and the persons authorized are and the person authorized are directed to obey the said directions. In any violation of any of the directions issued by this honorable court shall be punishable under the Contempt of Court Act. And in Lakshmi Kant Pandey versus Union of India 1984, Lakshmi Kant Pandey, an attorney, wrote to the Supreme Court alleging neglect and malpractice on the part of social organizations and private adoption against private adoption agencies facilitating the adoption of Indian children to the foreign parents. The court treated this letter as writ petition and these institutions on the basis of the public interest litigation. In Kisan Patnaik and others versus State of Odisha 1989, 2 social workers addressed a letter to the Supreme Court that the miserable conditions of the people of the district Kalahandi, Odisha, the sale of children on account of extreme poverty. The letter, considered as the public interest litigation in the Supreme Court, took measures to improve the conditions and also prevent the trafficking in children. In Bandhua Mukti Morcha case, this PIL was filed directly before the Supreme Court of India seeking directions to the state of Uttar Pradesh to take a step to end children labor. The court appointed committee reported that the enmity of the children's exploitations of UP carpet industry, finding that many children were kidnapped from Bihar, minor children under 14 years, and that may experienced physical abuse. In its judgment, the court discussed the importance of the protecting children's right to education, health and development in ensuring India's progress as a democracy. In Bisal Jeet versus Union of India and others 1990, a PIL was filed seeking directions for inquiry against forced prostitution, Devdasi and Jogni, tradition and rehabilitation of the victim. The Supreme Court issued several directions to the state and central government for providing adequate and rehabilitative home, well and qualified trained senior workers, physicians and the doctor. I oblige about the central state and union territory to protect them from the evils, provide free and good education and make them good citizens of the country. MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 2002, CNG vehicles case. MC Mehta filed a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court in 1985 against the unchecked air pollution and its hazardous impact on the health of residents of Delhi. He argued that the pollution of Delhi has reached a level that is affecting the people's health. The government to take measures to control air pollution. In 1990, on the basis of the opinion of the Ministry of Environment and Forest, the Supreme Court directed that the diesel buses be converted to the CNG as heavy vehicles, including truck buses and defense vehicles, were the main contributors to the air pollution. In Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan 1997, a group of various women led by Naina Kapoor filed a public interest litigation against the state of Rajasthan and the central government of India to enforce the fundamental right of working women under Article 14, 19, 21 of the Constitution of India. The petitioner was filed after Bhauri Devi, a social worker in Rajasthan, was brutally gang raped for stopping a child marriage. This case brought to the attention to the Supreme Court of India the absence of domestic law occupying the field to formulate effective measures to check the evil of sexual harassment of working women at all workplace. J.S. Burma, the CGI, Sujata Manohar and B.N. Kripal have provided basic definition of the sexual harassment at the workplace and provided guidelines to deal with it, as international conventions and the norms are significant for the interpretation of the guarantee of the gender equality, right to work with human dignity and the safeguard against sexual harassment implicit therein. On the basis of this judgment, the Parliament has enacted a law in the year 2013. On the basis of said act, it is mandatory to form a gender sensitization committee at every workplace. In Ronak International Limited versus IVR Construction Limited, Justice Sujata Manohar rightly enunciated that when a stay order is obtained at the instance of the private party or even at the instance of a body litigating in public interest, and any interim order which stop the project from proceeding further must provide for the reimbursement of the cost of the public. In other words, of the public must be compensated both for the delay in implementation of the project and the cost escalation resulting from such delay. In People's Union for Democratic Right versus Union of India, the PUDR filed a public interest litigation in Supreme Court seeking issue observance of the provisions of various labor laws in relation to the workers employed in the construction work of the ACI 82 project against the violation of the Article 24, which prohibits the children below the age of 14 years in hazardous employment. The agents of construction contractors brought labor from the villages of Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan, working beyond the working hours without the minimum daily wages, and their children dying of malnutrition, and they themselves frequently become victims of accidents. Their workers were forced to complete the ACI project in time. Justice P.N. Bhagwati and Justice Baharul Islam directed the Union government, the Delhi Development Authority and the Delhi administration, and directed to ensure that the payment of minimum wages and other facility to be workers under the various laws. In MC Mehta versus Union of India, this public interest litigation originated in the aftermath of the oleum gas leak from Sri Ram Food and Fertilizers Limited. This gas leak occurred soon after the Bhopal gas leak and created a lot of panic in Delhi. One person died in the incident and few were hospitalized. The case lays down the principles of absolute liability and concept of deep pockets. The court also directed to the company manufacturing hazardous and lethal chemical gas posing danger to the life and health of the workmen to take any necessary safety measures before reopening the plant. In Delhi, Domestic Working Women's Forum versus Union of India. In this public interest litigation, the case at issue concerned 6 women who were sexually assaulted and raped on a local train. The court set out new requirements for police dealing with rape victims, including that victims be provided with legal representation and informing the victim of all the rights before questioning her and protecting her anonymity during train. The court also ordered that the criminal compensation brought considered that the totality of the circumstances regarding from the emotional pain of the fact itself of the medical cost and emotional pain associated to be paid. In Murli S. Dogra versus Union of India, the Supreme Court banned smoking in public place. The basic knowledge for filing the public interest litigation in the Supreme Court. The PIL can be filed against the state or central government, municipal authorities, and not against any private party. The definition of the state is same as given under Article 12 of the Constitution of India, including government and Parliament of India and the government and the legislature of such state as all local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of the government of India. In Electricity Board, Rajasthan versus Mohanlal, the Supreme Court held that other authority would include is created by the Constitution of India, institute on whom powers are conferred by law. However, private party can be included in the public interest litigation as respondent after making party to the concerned state. In rural litigation and entitlement, Kendra versus State of UP, the Supreme Court rejected the defense of res judicata and refused to withdraw the public interest litigation and ordered to compensation too. Every citizen or person can file the public interest litigation in the High Court and the Supreme Court, as the case may be. Therefore, this is the public interest litigation. Thank you very much.